Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Marchelle. Welcome to the channel. God is so good. I'm so thankful that you're here. I have been a dental hygienist for the past 8 years. Going on 8 years. Okay, let me put going on because it makes me feel better. It's like you're not that old. It's just going on 8 years. You're not that old. So today, like I typically do, I'm going to be giving you guys some dental hygiene tea, because I always do. I love giving you guys dental hygiene tea. So that is what we're going to do today in today's video. If you're not already, go ahead and hit subscribe to this channel. Guys, I am on the road to 1K. I need y'all support, so go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the like button and comment down below. Guys, I love reading your comments. Make sure you comment down below. Tell me your ideas. Let me know what questions you have. If you want it to be more private, you can always private message me on my Instagram. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this video. All right, y'all, so as titled, we are going to get into best tips that I have for new hygienists out there. Okay, y'all, before you get into dental hygiene, do your research. This might be simple, this might be like duh, but if you are young like I was getting into dental hygiene, didn't really have a grasp on life, didn't really come from a college background. My father went to college, but my dad's also a lot older than me, so I wasn't really able to lean on him for you know, advice about college in a sense. And then also I just felt like, you know, I didn't even have that mindset because of how I grew up. Like, I'll just be transparent, that like how we grew up was not like, okay, you're gonna go to college. Like, I didn't grow up seeing people that went to college and whatever. So it's just, it wasn't in my mindset. Okay, but now I can sit here and say, you know, before you do this, and I know that there's people out there that are like me and that are not like duh, so make sure you do your research. And this is just on any field that you go into, but for dental hygiene, make sure that you research what it's about, research how the jobs are, you know, watch videos like this, educational videos, before you jump into it. I would say let's start there. Before you jump into it, let's do more research. You know, research what schools you know, are offering it, research what their requirements are, look into the job, see if this is something that actually fits you and suits you. Because what I have noticed, and what I will say is, in general, this is a life application. We can't do things just for money. You know, there has to be passion behind it. God was faithful to me and kind to me that I actually love dental hygiene. But I can't say going into it that I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this. But as a kid, I always wanted to work in dental. I have no idea why. I was just like, I want to work in dental. I thought I wanted to be a dentist. That has kind of changed a little bit, but that's for another video. But I always wanted to work in dental as a kid. So this is like where my passion was, and I couldn't put a why behind it. But now I can say I truly love what I do. But y'all, you can't just do stuff for money, right? There has to be some type of passion. Maybe you like working in small offices. Maybe you like working with people, helping with people, but nursing just isn't for you. You want to be in the healthcare field, but you want like something that's going to be a shorter program. And yes, it is okay to look for a career that pays well. Dental hygiene pays very well. So it's okay to look for a field that pays well, but make sure that you're doing your research on the field to see if this is really truly for you. Okay, I also would say, like, look into what they actually do. Before I started dental hygiene, like, yes, I went and got my teeth cleaned, but I was young and dumb, y'all. I really did not know what the flow was. So like look up videos of like, what is the flow really like? See if you could go to your neighborhood dentist and see if you can shadow them. So that is tip number one, right at the basics. Let's go ahead and let's research before we even get into the field, okay? So now you have chosen, yes, dental hygiene is for me. I'm gonna go to school, gonna apply. Thank God you got accepted. Now, when you're in school, my next tip is to make sure you are asking as many questions as possible. Ask as many questions as possible, y'all. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. You have to always remember the end goal. You're like, I don't care if I annoy you right now. Like, I don't care if I annoy my professors right now. I am focused on the fact that in a year or two, I am on my own and I don't want to go out into the field and not know what the heck I'm doing, okay? So ask as many questions as you can while you are there, y'all. Y'all, this even applies to like me. Like, this is my mindset even like when I go to the gym. Like when you're at the gym and you're working out, you're like, you think that everybody's focused on you, or if you look up and somebody's like looking at you, you're like, oh my goodness, like, you know, like this person's like looking at me, they're judging me, blah blah blah. But it's like, number one, they're probably not judging you. They're probably just listening to the music in their own head. Sometimes you look around at your environment, whatever. But even if they are looking at you and they are judging you, guess what? The end result is that baby, I'm about to be looking good. So I don't care about what you're thinking about me. I don't care if you think I'm not, you know, having the best techniques, whatever, because the more I do this, the more I will learn. If you have no positive criticism for me, if you're not going to open up your mouth and say anything, you're just going to stare at me, then that's completely fine. You can keep staring, baby. So that's the same thing. It's like when you're in school, don't worry about your classmates. Don't worry about if people think that you're annoying or you feel dumb, you feel like you're asking a lot of questions. No, baby, ask them questions. Get to know, okay? Learn, watch, apply. Learn, watch, apply. That's basically you. Number one, you want to learn the information, right? So that is a lot of times when we're in classes and we're taking tests and we're the teacher is teaching and you're writing down your notes. So you want to learn everything. Learn what your professor's teaching you about. Learn what your clinical members are telling you, and then you want to watch it. You know, if your school is teaching you about something and they're not showing you, it's called show and tell, right? So that's the best way to learn, show and tell. But if they're not showing you, and yes, that can be frustrating, I kind of went through it too, make sure that you go home and you research, y'all. Google is an amazing thing. TikTok is an amazing thing. Like all of these platforms, YouTube is an amazing thing. Like it's all information. So there is videos out there for everything. So if they're teaching you something, go and watch it and learn it and then apply it. Like when you get into clinical, try it out. When you with your patient, try out that new technique. Try out what you've seen in that video. So that is how you're gonna learn, okay? Now my next tip, and this is also something super basic, is get loops, y'all. Get loops. Again, I am preaching from my own experience, okay? That's all I can do. I cannot tell you about somebody else's experience because I don't live their life, okay? So I'm telling you about my life. I practiced for, what was that, 3 years almost with no loops. Like my first 3 years of being a dental hygienist, I had no loops. When I tell you that it slowed me down so much, like I could have been a better hygienist sooner if I would have had those loops. Not saying I regret anything. It is what it is, because now I'm here and I have a story to tell and I could teach somebody else. So that's life. Sometimes God puts us through things so that we can pave the way for others and we can teach others, hey, learn from my mistake. I didn't want to pay for the loops because the loops are like $1,400, $1,500. So I'm like, you know, I couldn't even afford it, number one. And number two, I didn't want to. I was like, child, we about to thug it out with these glasses and just see how it goes. And when I tell y'all that I wish I would have had those loops sooner, I wish I would have had those loops sooner. They help out so much. You're just able to see what is going on. There are things on the teeth, little stain marks, little divots, and all these things that if you can't see it, you're going to miss it. So get loupes, y'all. That is a simple one, but it is a tip that I have to share. Make sure that you get loupes, okay? So and now you are done with school, you're getting out there and you're getting ready to practice to apply for jobs. Now, when you do your interview, you need to, again, ask a lot of questions. This is just, again, basic life things, right? This is any job that you go to, you need to ask questions. But what are the questions that you should be asking? Number one, I would always ask, like, you know, about the procedures. How long are you getting for your appointments? Because as a new hygienist, you're gonna need some extra time. So if you have an office that's just like, okay, 40 minutes here, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, it's like, dang, you know, you will learn. I'm not coming down on anybody with those, because you can learn and you can pick up pace with a job like that, but it's still like, oh my goodness, how do you really learn how to do your job when you don't have enough time? So like, that is a really important question. Another one is just, you know, how does doctor like things to go? What kind of procedures do we do here, you know, so that you're prepared? And so if your patient needs an extraction of a wisdom tooth, you're not leading them in the wrong direction, because we're patient educators, they access things too. So if your patient's like, okay, I need an extraction of number one, you're not like, oh, okay, yeah, we can refer you out to an oral surgeon, when, hey, doctor does that right here in the office. So you need to be familiar with what the office does, what procedures they do, what they allow their hygienists to do, what they don't allow the hygienists to do. Some doctors don't believe in fluoride. Some doctors don't believe in sealant. So these are all things that you need to know and you need to take into consideration, because you are a provider and you should feel comfortable where you're working at. If you want to offer your patients certain things, don't take a job that doesn't allow, you know, patients, that doesn't believe that patients should have fluoride. Find you a job that, you know, you can service your patients well, okay? So my next tip, after you do your interview process, do a working interview, y'all. I feel like the demand for jobs in general, but especially dental hygiene, is so high right now that they might not be doing the full process, but you should be requesting a working interview. Even as a new hygienist, like, don't feel like because you're new you deserve less. Like, no, I want my working interview, and make sure that that interview is paid. Again, just because you're a new hygienist does not mean anything. Make sure they're paying you for that working interview, but go in and see how the office runs, see like what's going on, see how the other hygienists are doing things, see how the office is running. Like, are they running like a well-oiled machine? Is it chaotic? And in order to see that, sometimes you need to be there for a few hours. So I would say, like, make sure your working interview is at least like 4 hours, so you can see what is happening, what's going on. And I say at least 4 hours because if you could do the full day, do the full day and just see, like, is this really the office for me? It's super important. And then I would also, during my working interview, just try to get to know the employees a little bit better. You know, maybe ask around. It could be as simple as like, hey, how long have you been here? Because a good office, like an office where you can see yourself at for a long time, more than likely has employees that have been there for a long time. If everyone's answering, oh, 6 months, 8 months, oh, almost a year, it's like 3 months, 2 weeks. It's like, where's the people that have like established this office? I'm not coming down like on anyone, but there's a lot of offices with a lot of turnaround, and so you can only imagine, why is this turnaround so high? So that is one of the major things that you should be doing during your working interview. But either way, you just want to see how things run in the office, and you don't want to go in blindly. Also, if they don't want to pay you for the working interview, maybe that company is cheap. Maybe that office is too cheap for you, because it's like, why wouldn't you want to pay me for this working interview if I'm coming in, I'm working, and I'm seeing patients, And you know, unless you're shadowing, make sure that they pay you for that working interview. If you're just shadowing, which is also a really good idea to do, I would just go in and shadow and just see like, how does the office work? What are the hygienists doing? How do they react with it? How do they, you know, work well? How do they work with the dentist? And you know, does everything look like it runs smoothly? Are things chaotic? Are the employees annoyed? Are they complaining? Because these are all things that you want to take into consideration. No office is perfect, no job is perfect, but there are some things that you can be like, okay, this is a definite red flag, let me not. My next tip is going to be chart preps. Okay, chart prep, basically just making sure that a day or 2 days at least before your patient comes in, you are looking at their chart, seeing what they're due for, seeing, you know, if they have any outstanding treatment needs, meaning if they have a cavity that has not yet been filled, if doctor recommended a crown last visit and they didn't get it done, you know, taking note of all of these things, and then also reading their clinical notes. There should be some notes in there just, you know, kind of talking about the patient's home care, what was going on with the patient's gums, the patient was having pain last time. You know, these are things that you want to check up on. You know, you want to make sure that you're addressing your patient and being like, hey, I noticed that 6 months ago doctor found a cavity. The cavity is going to get bigger. Let's go ahead and get this taken care of, because as a dental hygienist, everything is connected and we have to make sure that we are doing patient education. Our biggest job is preventative care, so we want to prevent our patients from being in doctor's chair, getting numbed and drilled as much as we can. So it's very important that we educate our patients properly. Now with that, I'm also going to say, make sure that you are putting good notes into your charts. This is a great way as a new hygienist to build patient rapport. If my patient tells me today that she's going to be going to Bora Bora in 2 weeks, and you know, it's her anniversary and she's super excited, she hasn't been on a vacation since before the pandemic, that is something so amazing to like celebrate with my patient, number one, but then also making sure that I put a note in her chart so that when she comes back in 6 months, I can be like, hey, how was that vacation? Like, I'm so happy for you. I know that you said you didn't travel since before the pandemic. How was traveling this time around? Things like that can just build patient rapport. The reason why it's so important to build patient rapport in dental hygiene and in dentistry as well is because there's so many people, so many patients with dental phobia. People don't like coming to the dental office. They truly don't. We hear it all day long. They don't like being there. So when you can build patient rapport, just basically building trust with your patient, letting your patient know, hey, I hear you, I'm listening to you, I understand you, like I hear your needs, and you know, you can trust me, like you told me something confidential and I heard what you said and I care. You know, you are a provider, you're providing for this patient. So it's important to care. It's important to do things like that. So make sure that you're, you know, taking good notes about your patients in order to build that rapport. So yes, you are a new hygienist out there on the field, but they come back in 6 months and they're like, dang, this girl is good. I really trust her. I want to keep coming and I want to keep seeing her. So it's really important as a new hygienist because you're building your schedule in this new office that you're in, and you know, it's really good. That's just like what we want to do. Okay, so the last thing, my last tip that I have really should be number one, but I saved the best for last, y'all. So number one is going to be prayer. Pray. Make sure that you're praying. Make sure that you're praying over your patients. Make sure that you're praying over your day. Before you even start your day, pray. Just be like, Lord, guide me, help me, and push me to be the best hygienist that I can be, the best provider that I can be. Push me to my fullest potential. As you're a new hygienist, like, it's hard. You're going out here in your new field and you're just like, you know, you're kind of winging it, because we all are. We don't know until we experience things. And so, you know, pray about it, you know, to reduce your anxiety, to, you know, be comfortable doing what you're doing, to be comfortable educating your patients, to not feel like you don't know what you're doing, because God provides confidence and God provides stability, and he will make sure that you're good, period. He'll make sure that you're good. So that is all for this video, guys. I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe once again. Also share this video if you have any classmates, if you're already in dental hygiene school, if you have any classmates that this video would help, anyone that you know that's trying to look for a new career that pays well and they might like the dental field or the health field, make sure that you share this video with them. And yes, guys, let's just keep on pushing through. Congrats to all the new grads, and congratulations to those of you who are thinking about going into dental hygiene, and congratulations to those who are in school. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard work, and it takes a lot of dedication, and it changes you. Honestly, the dental hygiene program changes you, because it's a lot at one time. And it can produce a lot of anxiety in you, and depression, and all the things. So I'm praying for you all, and I pray that you stay encouraged and that you keep pushing, because you can definitely do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. So keep going. And for those of you who are new graduates, those of you who are new hygienists, congratulations. I'm praying over you guys, and you're gonna be amazing. You're going to be the best hygienist. You are going to build the best rapport with your patients. Your patients are going to love you. They're going to trust you, because you're amazing. So I love you all. God bless you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.